Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Gregerson. A couple different times you might be viewing this if you've been gone or sick, but if this is on November 21st, you are seeing this in class because I'm at a Best Practices for Geometry Teachers conference, which is supposed to make me get some neat, cool ideas for presenting material, hopefully helping you better understand it. And so just know that I would love to be with you, but I'm trying to become a better teacher. So I'm not sure if that makes me better or not, if I'm in the classroom or not in the classroom, but I hope you have a great day. Just make sure you get these notes down. They are the end of the last little unit that we're doing, and then this will be on our last test and quiz. All right, next one. We are going to go up now. We've been working strictly with triangles, and now we're going to go to quadrilaterals. Now, quadrilaterals are called what? How many sides do they have? Quad means four. So we just know it's a four-sided polygon. Any four-sided polygon is called a quadrilateral. Now, with that fact, we have very specific types. So it's like quadrilateral is the big generic name, and then we get more specific. Kind of like we have a triangle, and then we get more specific with its side types or with its angle measurements. We'll do the same type of idea with a quadrilateral. In fact, we'll have a graphic organizer at the end that's going to be used on your quiz that we'll have. So the first one is a parallelogram, and the key word with this is the word parallel. And we're going to actually focus the next two lessons on parallelograms. Now, if you have the word parallel, that should automatically think parallel lines. So when you have a quadrilateral with two pairs of opposite sides parallel. So it's going to have two pairs of opposite sides parallel. So your tops and your sides are going to be parallel to each other. So very easy. Now we have notation for parallelogram that you need to know, and the notation is really cool. This is the only quadrilateral that we actually have a symbol for, and you just draw the parallelogram. It looks like a sat-on rectangle, like it couldn't support itself, so it started leaning, and you would name it, like if I use my vertices here, A, B, C, and D, you would just go parallelogram A, B, C, D. That will let you know the type. So that's the only really specific quadrilateral symbol we have. The rest of them we have to write out. Now our next one is called a rhombus. No, not with a rolling R, but it's a rhombus. It's a parallelogram with four congruent sides. Now, here's the deal. It doesn't have to be called a parallelogram. You could actually substitute the word in quadrilateral, and it would automatically be a parallelogram. So we have that. So when you have a rhombus, all four sides are the same. What do we call a polygon when all the sides are the same? That's right, equilateral. So it's called an equilateral quadrilateral. Say that 3 times fast, and I'll be actually very impressed. All right, so it's an equilateral quadrilateral. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two pairs of opposite sides parallel. A rhombus is a quadrilateral or parallelogram with four congruent sides. And then we have a rectangle. Okay, a rectangle is a parallelogram with four right angles. So notice the definition, and by the way, you could also say it's a quadrilateral with four right angles. Here's the deal. A rectangle, when you were a kid, you'd say it had two pairs of sides that were the same length. That is a natural result, but this is actually talking about the angles. There is no definition with sides when it comes to a rectangle. So a rectangle is just a parallelogram or quadrilateral, whatever word you choose, with four right angles. That means all the angles are the same. So what type of polygon is that? All right, you should have said equiangular. So that's going to be an equiangular quadrilateral. And if you use that for the definition, I would totally give you full credit. So far, we've had a parallelogram, a rhombus, and a rectangle. So equiangular, quadrilateral, and then now we have a square. Now, all of you know what a square is. You've known about it probably since you were 3 years old. You probably could have identified what a square was. A square is a parallelogram, or again, a quadrilateral, and I'm going to abbreviate it as a quad, with four congruent sides and 4 right angles. So basically, here I have my 4 congruent sides. We have my 4 right angles, so it's equiangular and equilateral. What do we call this? We'll call this a regular quadrilateral. Remember, a regular polygon is a polygon with all of its sides equal and all of its angles equal, so it gives us very specific. So a square is a what if it has 4 congruent sides? A rhombus. A square is a what? 4 right angles. A rectangle. And that doesn't look like a very good R up there, but all right. It is a parallelogram because it's opposite sides. Ogram. I can't even spell parallelogram today. Just use the symbol. All right, parallelogram. It's all of those things. So these are definite definitions that you have to have down. The next one is called a kite. And if you know a simple kite, the simplest you can make, the one with the 4 sides, T down the middle, or I like to call it Charlie Brown's kite, that's what you're going to have for a kite. A kite is a quadrilateral with no parallel sides and 2 pairs of adjacent congruent sides. Adjacent congruent sides. Now, what do I mean? If I was to draw this down the middle, these 2 diagonals would be perpendicular, but these 2 would be adjacent sides and these 2 would be congruent adjacent sides. So it literally looks like a kite.